Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. For uses of use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now let's start this dang show.
You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
What up, everybody? This is the Cage Match Wednesday. I am the Oakland Raider Savage, and with me, as always, Mr. Jim Otto himself, Cal Ripken Jr. himself, the only one on this live feed, on this channel, that's been on every single live feed. Asylum, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm here trying to figure some things out, trying to stream it to new places. So everything don't want to be working right now, I guess, and I'm having weather, and I think it's affecting my internet.
So you just got a whole lot of stuff going on right now, huh?
But yeah, it's called Captain Jack today because I'm having internet problems.
The usual. Well, on this episode, we are just going to kind of run down everything that has happened free agency stuff, basically, but all the Raiders acquisitions and players that we couldn't sign that were our own, looking at the numbers, looking at all that, a boring show. But we're trying to be the informative one, so that's what we're going to do. And before we get into all that, let's do our favorite segment, which is the shameless plug. Here we go, Asylum. Let me find the thing, and here we go.
All right, everybody, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell. That way you know anytime a video, short, or meme gets dropped. If Roger Goodell or now the WWE want to start flapping their little cocksuckers, go ahead and catch us on Facebook, first of all, at Oakland Raider Savage, or mine, Asylum, or you could even try catching me on Instagram on 77 Asylum 77. We can give that one a try, see if that's working. Yeah. And we will let you know when to come back to YouTube. After all that, go ahead and visit WGG. Check out all their different varieties of energy drinks. Browse, choose something. When you're ready to check out, put Cage Match, one word, in the discount code to get 10% off your entire order.
And like we always say, when you think of dubs, wait, that's not how it goes. When you think of wins, you think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Get the energy like what we usually say, like Max Crosby, but we don't have it. Seems like we don't have a lot of energy on this free agency. So make sure the Raiders need to take some Dubby. But I don't know. I'm just messing around. Go over there, check it out. 10% off your order in the discount code CAGEMATCH, one word, Cage Match. And also shouts out to the Compa Fabian. He helped make our merch. And I have it around here somewhere. Oh, I do. I have it right here. See, right here. He helped us with his merch. So
Right
our
here.
merch, right here. And then, if you have one of these and you like our show, you share it with your friends. Have it wrapped on your beer. And give us those subscriptions, and that'll help us out because YouTube tried to shut us down again. And but we fought it, we won. I don't know why they're trying to shut us down, but they are doing what they're trying to do. It is what it is. But shouts out to the Copa Fabian.
It's YouTube, Roger Goodell, now WWE, Triple H. Man, we'll take them all on. We don't care.
We're the final boss here, okay? The Rock.
Bring them. We take on all upcomers. We'll take them all out. We're the champs.
We are the champs, and
you got the belt to prove it.
Yes, and we also went over 300. I don't have a video. There will be a video to celebrate 300, a small little video. But we did go over 300, so we want to thank everyone who subscribed. Now let's try to get to 400. There will be a video coming out in the next few days. It is in a process. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, go there, Fabian. www.r and the number 4 lifpr.com. Like I always say, I wear hats by the man himself. He made this. So go there, check that out. And also shouts out to Raiderman, Raiderman19.com. Go there, check out his merch, the Oath merch, and the Raider Oath. You see it, or you hear at the end of our intro. Oh, and by the way, did you like the new intro? We had to put that there. Shouts out to Raider Rob of Raider Fan Radio. That's also another YouTube channel. So I basically when this channel goes to fights, I go and ask him, hey, what do you do? He tells me. So we have to put the little disclaimer in the front so YouTube can stop messing with us.
Yeah,
so
see, that's how we punch them in the cocksuckers right there. We just go ahead, take that. Now try to do it. We have it in the beginning. We put it out there.
John Madden busting through the wall like an old Miller Lite commercial, or not Miller Lite, but Miller commercial. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
all right.
we could have done boom, tough acting, acting.
Exactly. Athletes put up there. Okay. So the Raider Oath, you heard at the end of the intro. We're trying to get Raider Man to the torch right there. We want to have Raider Man representing the old Oakland mystique and bring that to the Las Vegas Raider way. And have him do that in front of the torch in front of 65,000 people, Raider fans, as Pete Carroll promised. Get the whole stadium fired up. So shout out to Raider Man. We got to get him on soon because we're going to start talking about the draft soon. That's in a month now. It's already going to be a month until the draft, and we're going to try to have our own big show. So we covered all this all through March. Now the next one is April 24th to 26th NFL draft. We'll be covering the first round on that Thursday, the 24th. We will have a live. We're gonna mess with the NFL and Grinnell game by having a live broadcast of it. And now we're just putting together our panel to be your live commentators of the draft. And if you love the show, make sure you go onto that episode when that comes live of the draft. And then we will give you details and all that, just like ESPN and the NFL Network do, because we're trying to be that show that you can watch and all that, whatever. We're pulling out all the stunts, basically. Okay, that's what we're doing here on the Cage Match. That's what we do.
We're trying.
Okay,
we're trying.
We're trying. All right, Asylum. Let's get into business. Okay, let's just talk about what's been going on. Or actually, let me start over. Had to rewind to see the new intro. Wow. Let's talk about the Raiders and the money that they have. So let's just kind of go through the numbers.
Well, the Raiders never had money.
But hey, they've been saving money. The last three GMs haven't been really spending much, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But A lot of that got rolled over to this year, and then we were able to use that to, Max Crosby's contract and all that, whatever. So let's check out the numbers right here. 2025 NFL salary cap. The actual NFL salary cap is 279,200,000, and the Raiders with the rollover of last year. They were able to roll over 33 million, 33.5 to 0.6 million, and as of right now, their dead cap money. They have dead cap money of 44 million. That's with the Garoppolo money and the Adams money, and then that'll be added with the Minshew money.
I thought it was Minshew Mania. I thought now it's Minshew money.
It's Minshew money, baby. And so we'll show all those numbers. And then also the Andre James cut, which was a surprise, but at the same time, it wasn't a surprise. He should have been cut last year. They re-signed him to that 3-year, but hey, cut your losses.
But that's okay. He's playing for the Chargers now, and now we know how to get to Herbert just straight up the middle, right?
If he's going to be starting, probably will be starting.
He's going to be starting. I was hearing either at center or guard.
At guard, I don't know. He'll probably have better success at guard than at center because, like you said, he kept getting blasted up the middle. Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere else to put it, or to frame it. So yeah, he was the weak link, which is your center. And the Raiders had a history of centers. You had Jim Otto, then you had, I might be going out of order. I know Don Mosbar, which was
your phone, Anna.
I'm forgetting the one that won the three rings. He came in. Jim Otto retired, I think, 2 years before the first Super Bowl victory. Why am I forgetting his name? Jim Otto, Don Mosbar. There's Barrett Robbins, and then came in the early 2000s. But there's the one that won all 3 rings. Why am I forgetting his name? Come on, Asylum.
Right now.
Because I'm live right now. You're the guy. You were alive at that time.
I was alive, a kid and shit, but I'm on the blank too. I'm trying to make sure it's working and everything, and now I'm all fucking. Now you put me on the spot, and it's one of those. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I know.
You can't see it.
And Dave Dubby. Wow, see, I don't know why I forgot that. Dave Dubby got all 3 rings. Then Mosbar came in. He played a couple seasons. And then Barrett Robbins. And then a few, you had Wisniewski's son. You had Wisniewski's son that came in, and I'm not his son, his nephew that came in, and then you had the Hawaiian dude, and then you had Rodney Hudson, who kind of like embodied that Raider center, and then it fell off when Andre James took over after they traded away Hudson, and then Andre James, which is a Gruden pick basically. I mean, he was undrafted, but he was a Gruden guy. Gruden switched him out, and he wasn't that good. So now we got JPJ that we drafted this past year, and he took over. So now we have that mean presence in the middle of the offensive line. So Andre James is out. JPJ should take over center, which he should have been all season long. So we have that established. But also, and then Minshew, the guy behind center. So yeah, so the whole battery of last year is all gone. The starting from week 1 is gone. So, okay, now into the numbers. All right, let's look at all the Raiders contracts, the transactions that they've done at the end of this past season. The first one was Kyle Phillips, the receiver that they got. Well, he was released by the Panthers. Yes, that's right. Released by the Panthers. Raiders signed him, so he's still on that restricted tender. So Raiders have him by $1 million for the 1 year. You saw the resigning of Isaiah Palomao. He got 7.45 in 2 years. Alex Kappa, You saw that one, that pickup right at the beginning of free agency, 11.02 million a year for 2 years. Then the Max Crosby extension, which got him 106.5 million for the 3 years. Geno Smith is still pending. The trade is finalized, but the extension is still pending. Right now, he's a $31 million hit on this current cap. Adam Butler was re-signed.
I read something. It's not supposed to even affect our cap hit. It's supposed to be like Seahawks cap hit, I thought.
Well, right now, Spot Track was where I got these numbers from. They still show it. I don't know, because we all thought that his contract was supposed to get finalized with the extension and everything as a Raider now, and they thought that was going to happen throughout this past weekend. Then I thought Monday would be a press conference. Today, Mostert had a press conference, but Geno Smith is still pending. So he's pending. Adam Butler, he got re-signed $60.5 million for 3 years. That was a good re-signing. Jeremy Chin to quote unquote replace the departure of Morig, quote unquote. $16.26 million for 2 years. Malcolm Coots got re-signed, which probably was the reason why the Raiders didn't try to re-sign Chase on. Malcolm Coots on a proven year, $12 million. Lonnie Johnson, another safety, the Raiders got $1.7 million for a year. Elandon Roberts for a Robert, he comes in to be the quote-unquote replacement for Robert Spillane. Oh, okay. The Geno Smith news will probably come out today. Miss Anna over there in Las Vegas, our news reporter out there in
on the ground news reporter.
Yes. So we always, when Anna was on the show, one of the first ones to comment on the show too. So we want to say hello, Anna. How you doing? Thank you for joining. Anna's also one that's been on every single
on the show she wants.
And we've had her before. Anna came on the show, and I was all like, Anna, she seems like a sweet lady, but if you piss her off, man, Anna will tell you straight up, ain't going down that way, bro. Don't mess with me, bro.
Don't think she wouldn't. She just fucking, the fucking Raiders.
This jersey is protected by Tim Tebow. Lonnie Johnson, the safety. He's another. Okay, Lonnie Johnson came in. Another 1 year contract, $1.7 million. Roberts replaces Robert Spillane. $3 million for the 1 year. Eric Stokes, another cornerback, $3.5 million a year. Raheem Mostert, that was, I want to say it was a big signing, but that was like, oh, okay, running back from Miami. He played in Miami this past season. $2.1 million for 1 year. And then Raiders bring back Darnay Holmes, the cornerback. He re-signed. His numbers will be determined still. So those numbers haven't.
You're missing one, I think.
Who?
Who the hell was the other guy in the middle that they just fucking re-signed? They did it today. God damn it! Why am I drawing a blank?
Well,
stupid live.
That was
the only one they haven't done right now is Jenkins.
It was Butler. Wait, isn't the other Butler? No,
not the other Butler. Is it the other Butler?
There was like Matthew Butler and then Adam Butler. I don't know. I didn't see that yet.
It might be. I just saw it earlier today. The only one left on the line that they didn't re-sign so far is Jenkins.
Okay, well, wait, get that front line settled in.
We're working on the wrong front line. I like offensive front line help coming in.
We haven't even really, outside of Kappa, we haven't really addressed the offensive. Well, Kappa
other than getting rid of James.
Yeah.
I mean, does this mean they like the offensive line we have?
Hey, maybe Brennan Carroll, who's going to be the offensive line coach. Maybe him talking to God, you know what? I'm blanking too. The other coach, the offensive line coach, he was the old man. Phillips. Philbin. maybe he talked to him, and then they say, it was just a bad circumstance or whatever with the offensive coordinator and the playbook and all that. These are good guys. Because even Parham wasn't bad 2 years ago. We did like him at center. JPJ came in, so that's JPJ's spot now. But I don't know. Maybe they know how to get that.
Maybe the whole thing just started with Andre James, and that's why, once he collapsed, everybody collapsed. So, now with JPJ there, it's going to be a good offensive line.
Once the cheerleader on top falls, the whole triangle goes down.
Right? I'm telling you, it's a weak point.
I mean, hey, it makes sense. You're the guy in the middle, and now the guards have to go and help you out, and now they can't help out. Yeah. As an offensive lineman, I approve of this message. I understand exactly what you're saying because it is true.
So maybe they just like the offensive line just enough that, I don't know. I can't speak for Pete Carroll or Chip Kelly or everybody else, but that's the way it's looking anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean, I used to, when I was in high school, I was a left tackle, starting offensive left tackle. And my left guard that lined up right next to me, he wasn't all that great. He kept, all the D tackle had to do was push his head down, and he had a free lane to the quarterback, and it made me look bad because I'm on that same side. I took the defensive end all the way to the sideline, but it didn't matter because the closest guy to the quarterback is straight on, and that D tackle, all I had to do was push his head down, push my left guard's head down, and went straight and hit the quarterback in his back, blind side. So that it does make sense. So
it's your fault. You can't fucking up.
I was riding out the defensive end. I went to go show him his exit. There you go. Go over there now. We don't need you over here. But, the rest of the guys, not the rest of the guys, just that one dude. The rest of the guys are cool. The one dude, no. All right. Raiders that are no longer with the Raiders. Raiders that no longer with the Raiders. That's what I should have titled it. Trayvon Moehrig, we lost him. He was a free agent, of course. $47.2 million for 3 years was his market value. The Panthers gave him $51 million for 3 years. It's about okay. About even. Nate Hobbs, though, his market value, this is all according to Spot Track, his market value was $2.85 million a year. Packers said we're going to double that or quadruple or $48 million of that with a $16 million guarantee. So Nate Hobbs broke his market value. Robert Spillane was only supposed to get $20.8 million for 2 years. The Patriots paid him more with $33 million over 3 years with a 20.6 guaranteed. Divine Diablo, $15 million for 2 years was his market value. Falcons paid him $14 million, so that was a little under his market. Clavon Chason, the Patriots went and signed him from us. Wilkins restructure was nice news today for sure. See, I go and put all these numbers together. Then the Raiders want to go and do everything on Wednesday.
Right.
So now all my graphics are all out of date. But thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. So everyone knows Jeff Show. He comes on right after us on NE_Raider Boosters. So they'll be talking about that. He mentioned that Wilkins got his contract restructured, which is good. That gives Raiders more money to play with. If whatever they're going to do in the next upcoming whatever, the draft is coming up, but those are all fixed rates. So, all right. Thank you. Clavon Chason, the Patriots signed him. He was supposed to, his market value was $6.8 million for 2 years. Patriots say we'll give you $5 for a year. No guarantee. And then Marcus Epps, the Patriots went to go pick him up also. $4.4 million compared to his market value, $1.8 million. So he got it. He went above his market value, but didn't get a guarantee contract. And of course, the Raiders, the two guys that they released, Andre James and Gardner Minshew, they released both those guys. The Raiders were able to save $1.49 million from Andre James and then $6.16 million from Gardner Minshew. Like Asylum said, Andre James went to the Chargers, and Gardner Minshew will be backing up Kermit the Frog.
He went for prime signing him either.
Huh?
They didn't waste any time signing Gardner Minshew.
I know. That's yeah.
You know, I mean, that was like quick. And as far as New England, everyone was bitching about, you know, the Patriot way coming to the Raiders. Well, it looks like the Raider way is going to New England.
Yeah, they've been they took look at they got 3 of our guys already. So and those are guys that we want. Well, Spillane we want to keep. Clavon wanted to keep. Marcus Epps we wouldn't have mind keeping, but we knew that him being an older well, not really older player. He's only 29, but you know the injury, the ACL, I mean the Achilles. So, you know, it is what it is. So, all right. Now, let's talk about what we've done so far with each player. Let's start with we don't have highlights of him, but we do have his background right here. Alex Kappa. Now, this was pretty impressive. His career stats, offensive linemen don't have stats, so we had to make it up. Not really make it up, but just have to put something up there. In his 7 seasons, Fozzie Bear, waka waka waka. 7 seasons. Alex Kappa had played 102 games, started 96 of them. He had 6,512 snaps, and in all those snaps, only 5 holds, 4 false starts, and 1 penalty that was declined. So he only had a flag thrown at him 10 times, 9 was accepted. I guess would you say that's pretty good, right, Asylum?
I'm sorry, what was that? I was trying to see this phone call. Sorry. I didn't see what it was. My bad.
You tell them,
Captain moment.
I know. Okay, the squirrels, leave them alone. Okay, leave the squirrels alone.
I hate fucking squirrels.
Leave the squirrels alone. Looking at his career stats right here, having that many snaps, or 96 starts out of 102 games played, 6,512 snaps. He's only had 10 flags thrown at him, 5 holds, 4 false starts, and then 1 was declined. That's pretty decent, right? That's pretty good for that many plays he has played, right?
I mean, the big one I want to look at on this, we'll take the holds aside because we know that happens on the offensive, you know, that happens in the trenches. It's always happening, but only 4 false starts in 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that there tells you, you know, he's watching the ball. He's doing what needs, you know, I mean, that's an important one because that is a killer. I think more so than the holds. I mean, I'll take only 5 holds in 7 years. I mean, that's less than 1 hold a season, right? I mean, I'll take that because those kill big plays, you know, when they happen. But the false start one, I think, is a bigger one. You know, that's a pre-snap penalty. That's what you don't want.
Yes, and that's holds is a more of a would you call it, what do they like an aggressive penalty? Not aggressive penalty.
For an offensive lineman, it's mostly because you got beat.
Yeah.
You know, generally when you get a hold as an offensive lineman, it's because you got beat off the line, and now you're just doing, you know, I mean, you're protecting your quarterback. I mean, this is, you know, you're missing one stat. How many times, you know, his quarterback got killed?
Yeah.
You know, so I don't remember him being one that let people run by too often and just Kareem his quarterback. But as far as penalties, no, I like those kind of numbers. I mean, shit. I think Glaze has bigger numbers than that in his first year alone.
Yeah, and Glaze having to learn on the fly.
Well, no, I'm not taking anything away from him, but that's what I'm trying to say. As a rookie, Glaze had, you know, definitely more false starts, maybe not as many holds, and going, like I said, thrown into the fire, having to learn and everything. And this guy has it over 7 years. I mean, rotational piece if he doesn't make starter, good depth piece. Hell, even be able to work with some of these younger guys on how you keep your false starts down.
Yeah.
Watch the ball. This is what you look for. You know, that game time coach, if you want to call it, you know, even in practices and everything, this is what I do to practice. You know, like everyone always says with Max Crosby, right? Be like Max Crosby. Go to Max Crosby, see what he does. That, you know, this could be a guy. I know it's not some people's favorite. It's not a glamorous pickup, but shit. I mean, those numbers are, to me, you know, if you watch a Chiefs game, that should be their fucking starting people per game.
Yeah, and then, you know, with Chip Kelly coming in, I'm pretty sure have a more better now. Whatever happened in Cincinnati, whatever. I was going to say Tom Brady played behind him. He was the starter for that Super Bowl year in 2020, which he got his ring in 2020 with Tampa Bay. So I'm pretty sure that Tom Brady was like, hey, he blocked for me. I can vouch for him. Okay, so whatever happened in Cincinnati, you know, I don't know. I know we had Joe Burrow, but I don't know. But him coming in, not saying he's going to come in as a starter, but yeah, maybe he has something to prove because of what happened last year. Because they said that his numbers, according to PFF, he didn't have the greatest blocking grade, he didn't have the greatest passing grade, and then of course he didn't have the greatest overall grade. So maybe coming to the Raiders, maybe he'll find a way to bounce back. Or he'll just be a rotational guy because I know last year there were some injuries on the offensive line, which, like how you said, DJ Glaze came in and took that right tackle position from Mumford. So maybe he comes in, you know, like you said, 7 years, 7-year veteran, 30 years old. So, you know, I like my offensive linemen. I don't mind. I'd rather them older, because they've seen all the tricks that the defensive linemen will try to do or try to play or try to pull or whatever. That was one thing as an offensive lineman for me is every defensive player has like their own move, and they always do that their first move, that first play when they're on defense, that first play that they play, they always use their signature move. So once you know what that is, you know what to really look out for. That's what I did as an offensive lineman. I try to see what their first move is, then I knew how to counter it when I blocked. So he would know all that. Something, like you said, something to help the younger guys on the offensive line, because it seems like we're going to be drafting offensive linemen also. So he'll be a good guy to be a veteran presence, a mentor, if he's not the starter coming in. So, yeah, it's right there. Overall, 50.5, passing 39.7, running 54.9. So, in the 17 games he played last season, but he's durable. He's durable. He's durable. He's durable. Durable.
What's the best ability?
Is availability and stability. Just make sure you know how to block. Okay? Don't be that guy.
Well, yeah,
I don't block. I don't get hurt because I don't block.
The Raiders' offensive line last year didn't set the bar very high.
So hey, whatever. When it's good, all right, on the curve. All right. So
on the curve, great on the curve. We like the curve.
It makes us all look good. Okay, another one that people forget. Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips, young dude, only played 13 games, 23 receptions, 259 yards, 11.3 average, no touchdowns yet, a long of 29 reception. 25 years old, played 2 seasons with Tennessee Titans. He was on the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad last year, so he did not play. He doesn't have any stats in this past year's season, so he basically had a season off. No, he wasn't a practice squad. So his 2023 stats, so 9 games played, and that was with Tennessee. 9 games played, 15 receptions, 181 yards, 12.1 average, and like I said, no touchdowns in his career. But if we can look at his highlights, let's go and get the highlights going.
Let's get some highlights. Highlights.
I mean, he could be a deep threat. He looks like, I don't know. What you think? Like a Renfro, a new Renfro.
Well, I was going to say maybe that's the DJ Turner replacement right there.
DJ Turner, yeah, who did not get
I
his
mean,
tender.
I don't think he's got the moves like Renfro, but because Renfro had that that triple move that everyone bid on that third move, that he would do. But Renfro was slow. This guy definitely looks faster. But yeah, I can see where you're talking about in the point of field, or maybe a Renfro DJ Turner hybrid kind of a thing.
Yeah. It'd be like a little slot guy.
You got to pay extra for that, Cotton.
Yeah. A little slot guy. Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to be a guy that's probably going to be on special teams a lot, of course. Whether it's on coverage. Yeah. DJ Turner was kickoff returner. We do have the other rookie that had the fumbling issues. So maybe they'll be who?
Dylan
Laube, yeah. So maybe he'll compete back there for punt return or kickoff return. So he's probably gonna be a guy like that. And then, if he does get in, if he doesn't make the team, someone that can be like that slot receiver, or who can spell God, why am I forgetting names, man? See what happens when you try to remember everything. But there's no season. There's no season, so we're just trying to do things right now.
You had back problems, and now you can't remember shit.
Yes, I had back problems, so now my frontal don't work. So he'd be a good guy to come in special third down situations or whatever. So he's a guy,
just like that third receiver, something else to help pull somebody off the line or break up a double coverage kind of a situation.
Yeah. So that was Cal Phillips. We'll see how he fares going into training camp. And then
keep in mind, though, in those highlights, he did have Ryan Tannehill throwing to him.
The GOAT.
So take all that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, if you got Geno Smith throwing to him, we'll see. I didn't hear what you said.
I said, now it's the almighty Geno Smith.
The almighty Geno Smith. Well, speaking of Geno Smith, we talked about a little bit last week. Raiders. That's a segue right there. Paul Blart. Segue it. Raiders trade for Geno Smith. We all saw that. 34-year-old quarterback played for 11 seasons. New York Jets and the Giants and the Chargers, and then with the Seattle Seahawks. 4 seasons under Pete Carroll. Comeback Player of the Year in 2022. 2-time Pro Bowler 22 and 23. Those were the seasons he played with Pete Carroll when he became a starter. And then 2024 is where Pete Carroll was replaced. So in 2024, his stats, 4,320 yards of passing, 21 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. Completion percentage, 70.4, and his quarterback rating was a 53.8. 11 seasons. So Geno Smith, you see that we basically traded away Devontae Adams, basically.
Oh, you remember that name?
I remember that name. Third round, pick number 92. So we traded him over to the Seahawks, and we got Geno Smith for that. And then, of course, his extension is pending right now until further notice. Anna had said maybe it'll be on the news tonight or something. Now, I did hear something about that, and not saying it's facts, but the numbers that I kept hearing when it came to Geno Smith was 75 million, 3 years, 75 million, 40 million guaranteed. Yes.
Those were the numbers I was hearing.
Looking at Geno Smith's looking at Geno Smith, trying to press play. Geno Smith's highlights last year. I mean, you got a veteran quarterback. Like we said, yeah, he's a little older, 34. And my era of my golden era of Raider football was the early 2000s, 2000, 2002, 2001, 2002. Gruden's first stint when he started in 1998. Gruden came in to the Raiders in 1999, and it was by free agency from the Chiefs. And I do remember that a lot of the reporters back then, because back then we used to read newspapers. For all you youngsters out there, newspapers. You use them now. They use them now for the bottom of the pigeon coop. Whatever. So
some people might not even know what that is. Sometimes you use it to start your fires.
Yeah, or you use them to, like, if you're painting something, you just that's where you're gonna put everything. That's where the mess goes. Whatever, newspaper. That's where we all used to get our news before phones and internets and all that, whatever. And I remember the reporters would say, "Oh, Rich Gannon comes over. The Raiders signed Rich Gannon. He wasn't good enough for the Chiefs to make him a starter. The Raiders are not going to have a great offense going in, whatever." And 1999, the Raiders finished 8-8 with Rich Gannon. That last game of the season, they were able to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. That was the game when Tyrone Wheatley. I believe that was the game where he ran on his knees to get that basically he was dragging everybody on his knees and had a career game that day. Raiders beat the Chiefs, knocked the Chiefs out of the playoffs. And then in 2000, that's when the offense really started moving with that running game. And Rich Gannon, being that veteran presence, was able to revitalize his career in an older age. He was like, 11, 12 seasons in, amongst four different teams, Minnesota, Washington. Yeah, so Raiders are the four. The Colts. I think he tried to go to the Colts after the Raiders, and then he retired. But anyways, so having Geno Smith, who's seen success recently, not like the quarterbacks that the Raiders were inquiring about, who had success earlier, like Aaron Rodgers. And I know Matthew Stafford, it wasn't that long ago that he won a Super Bowl, but with the injuries to his throwing elbow, and then we had talks or the idea of who the Seahawks signed right after they traded off Geno, Sam Darnold. He had the one good season with the Vikings last year, but he also had iffy seasons. Iffy. He didn't play all the year before. Iffy. I'm trying to be.
Since the day he was drafted until last season, it was just kind of a laughing stock with Darnold.
Yeah. So
again, Darnold is a scheme quarterback, and that's why it worked in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't see it working here in Seattle.
Would you say that out of all the quarterbacks that were getting thrown around conversations of who the Raiders should get, would you say Geno Smith was the best option out there? And I don't want to say he kind of came out of left field, but it was like, there's speculation that, after Donald, after Aaron Rodgers and all that talk, then, Geno Smith is a Raider. Oh, okay.
Well, no, I mean, ever since the naming of Pete Carroll, Geno Smith's name was being thrown around. Yeah, I heard, I was hearing almost right away, Geno Smith, his ties to Carroll, da. But again, it was having to do with trade. I mean, as far as, you'd have to say no because it's a trade. There's other names that you can try to go out and get dealing with trades. Throwing the trade rumor out there with, out of the free agent market, obviously there wasn't much to choose from. Darnold, they didn't, I don't think the Raiders were that interested in Stafford, honestly. They were just trying to do their due diligence for that just in case scenario.
Well,
but
you heard, I was gonna say, you heard Kirk Cousins. Now they're trying to shop him around again. Kirk Cousins, the Falcons, and even Levis. They said that he's on the trading block. But I like out of all the quarterbacks, I mean, the free agent market overall just seemed kind of bleh, you know. Out of the positions that we needed, bleh.
Well, I mean,
They're bleh.
Jeff has made it clear, and I don't disagree with them. You know, this whole free agent class period is kind of been. There hasn't been, no real big. Big David.
KDO. KDO, hold on real quick. I want to do a shout out.
Oh, go ahead.
KDO is the one that that made our intro music. So the music that we've been playing during our intro video since day one, that was by KDO. Shouts out to KDO. The cousin, KDO. So I just wanted to put it out there. Good to see you in the chat, sir, KDO. So,
hey, KDO, sorry, I got a trade for you.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, it's like, but look, you have the Seahawks. They traded away Metcalf. There's been some trades that people are expected or had expected to happen, but aren't happening. Then you have trades that nobody expected to happen. Geno, I think, is the only one that was probably the exception to this statement because it was out there. There was contract talks that apparently stalled. That's what led to this in the whole Pete Carroll thing. But nobody thought Metcalf was going to get traded. T. Higgins probably isn't going to get traded, but that was the whole thing that everyone thought was going to end up happening. They're going to franchise tag him, trade him, and go. Now they just gave him a fucking big old contract. So, he's happy. Myles Garrett wanted to be traded. He signed a big old fat contract. He seems to be happy. So it's just this whole offseason, when it started, it's just kind of been a shit show all the way around. And I don't necessarily mean the shit show in a bad way, but anybody who's, even the experts, who walk around talking and everything, say, they know football. Not a lot of people have been right. There's been speculation and shit. There's, the Raiders may trade for Geno Smith because of the ties to the, to Pete
Raiders.
Carroll.
Oh, Pete Carroll.
Well, I said it first. I mean, hell, we're talking about KDO. There's talk about Christian McCaffrey getting traded. Deebo Samuels. I didn't expect that trade to happen.
Oh yeah. To the Washington so-and-sos.
To the Redskins. Get it right. Not the so-and-sos. They're forever and will always be known as the Redskins.
But yeah,
the point I was making in all this whole offseason, people you thought were untouchable have been traded, and the people who you thought heads down, some people are going to get a haul. It's just going to be this turnaround. And fuck, there was so much talk leading up to the offseason about Max Crosby being traded.
Oh, yeah.
He's unhappy.
Last year and this year.
All this shit. And then he gets a contract and people are surprised. Oh my God, they gave him a contract.
Yeah. And but see, that's what happens is everyone twists the words of the players who have their platform like Max Crosby and tries to find something that they can make clickbait newsworthy to say that, oh yeah, see, look at, like you said, oh, I saw it first, like, I knew it first. But at the end of the day, he ends up signing a extension. They get it all worked out. That's what he kept saying is he never said he wanted more money. He never said he wanted to get traded. He just said, I want to make sure that my money is guaranteed because, the way I play, the way my reckless abandonment, the way I play, I want to make sure that I'm basically insured, that I have my money, that I'm guaranteed. I didn't ask for more money. Because he even said on his own podcast that, hey, they gave me some money at the beginning of last year or this past season. I was like, okay, that's cool. You didn't have to do that, but hey, they did. So Max Crosby, they gave him the extension, and they were able to work the numbers to still have money for this year. That the cap did get raised. The total amount for this year did get raised, so that could have helped out with his contract this year also, the money wise. But Max Crosby, it wasn't. I want to say it was a big payday, but he just wanted to get an extension. But everyone took it as he wants to get traded. He don't want to play no more.
Well, no, he didn't even want an extension. His words was strictly, "I have no guaranteed money left on my contract."
Yeah.
Never said I want an extension. I want more money, anything like that. He made it clear with his words. I'm going to take what he said. And to me, it was clearly, I want guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Whether you fully guarantee the rest of my contract, you can take that. If you want to twist words around, you can twist it so many different ways. Some people are saying he wanted a contract. This, to me, fully guarantee his contract. And he'd have been happy with that and played out his contract.
Yeah.
And yet again, not once. He even went on Kay Adams and said it. Not once did he ask for a fucking trade.
He said, I just want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to feel good. Yeah, you do. But wait, I want to play this real quick since Arcadio have put it up there. The Seahawks are turning into the Raiders, or the Raiders turn into whatever. Here's the deal that went down when Pete Carroll was able to get Geno Smith. And that was pretty cool. I don't know if we can hear our voices during it, but hey, that was pretty cool. But there you go. When Pete Carroll turned heel, he's always said, I love Seattle. I love the Seahawks. I love the community up there. Became the Raiders head coach, and then turned around and boom to the nuts. Took the quarterback. Now, what's going to happen? It's going to be debated throughout the rest of this upcoming season. Which quarterback is doing better? Geno Smith with the Raiders under Pete Carroll, or Sam Darnold, who was the big quarterback, free agent, whatever, going into this offseason that the Seahawks were able to sign with the contract that was pretty friendly, I guess you can say, for the Seahawks. You would have think he would have got more, but because of last year, because a lot of GMs, they overpay for that.
Who was the big name last year?
The big name last year. Oh yeah, Kirk Cousins.
And how was
Well,
remember, they both left the same team.
They did.
They both left the same team.
And they both went to Birds.
They both went to Birds. There you go.
Yes.
So I mean, this one might be an easy one. This debate might not be much of a debate. It might be just saying one-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, it might just show that, maybe Minnesota has a good offensive coordinator, a good scheme going, and they can just throw any quarterback back there and fucking win games.
Well, in Seattle, they were able to acquire Cooper Kupp. So.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp ain't no DK Metcalf, though.
I know. Well, they don't have him or Lockett. Lockett is still out there, I believe. I don't think Lockett signed.
Out there. I have not heard if he has signed with anybody as of yet.
Would you want a Lockett? I mean, he'll be familiar. He'll bring familiarity for Geno Smith, playing with Geno Smith the last 3 seasons. So, and I know he's an older receiver,
he's
but
older, he's slower. He's another one at the end of his career.
Yeah, but so was Jerry Rice. Okay, and we got him.
But you know what? Lockett does not have Jerry Rice's hands. Okay, You talk about Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, when it comes to receivers, was the GOAT. Even though he played for the rival team across the bay, but those
Yeah.
hands of Jerry Rice, you can't argue those.
But Lockett came from a team that Jerry Rice ended his. I know he went to the Broncos, but he got cut before the season. So he ended his career with the Seahawks, okay? I don't care. I'm just joking. I just put stuff together. I'm just joking, okay? Don't take me seriously right now. I'm just joking.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes, there you go. 7 degrees of how do you cook bacon? 400 and something degrees, whatever you said. Okay. That is going with that. Let's move on to the next guy that we had signed. The rest is basically, well, I know Mostert is later, but the rest were basically defense. And one of the ones that we assigned because we had lost Spillane was this guy right here, Elandon Roberts. We couldn't sign a Robert, but we got a Roberts from Pittsburgh.
So does that mean, you got Robert, and Roberts is the plural of Robert, right? So we got more?
We got more, okay? Double your pleasure, double your fun. We got Elon Roberts in the middle, too.
You have to pay more for that one, too, Cotton.
Only in Vegas. Here you go. Career stats. 9 seasons. Games played, 140. He has a total, those are total tackles, 604. Solo, 354. Tackles for loss, 54. Sacks, 14.5. He has an interception and 5 forced fumbles. He is 30 years old, played 9 seasons. He'll be going into his 10th season with the Raiders. He's played for New England, which he has 2 rings in 2016 and 2018. He's played with New England, Miami, and of course, this last stop for him in his career was the Pittsburgh Steelers. His stats last year, 17 games played, 46 tackles, 24 of those solo, 5 tackles for loss. He has a sack, no interceptions, but he did have a forced fumble. Now, Asylum, and we do have the numbers compared to last season. What do you see this as an upgrade, a downgrade, a lateral move when it comes to a Raider middle linebacker, maybe a green dot type of guy? But do you see him being that guy that can fill in the shoes that Spillane has had the last 2 seasons?
Are we comparing to Spillane or just as a middle linebacker? Because those are 2 different answers.
I'll let you choose, and then I'll let you answer the other one.
Because
choose your
if
order.
I remember correctly, not stat-wise, but, rankings in the NFL, he was like the number 3 overall linebacker and the number 2 linebacker against the run. But when
and
it
you're
comes
speaking of who?
Of Roberts.
Okay.
Roberts, who we just picked up. So, as far as a middle linebacker, compared for what Raiders have had overall, I'm going to say, he's on the upgrade side because we haven't had a good linebacker in a long time since, tells Spillane. But if you want to go with comparison with Spillane, I'm going to have to say, just look at those numbers. It's a step down, not by a lot, not by a lot. We're not going to say, it's a big drop off, but total tackles. I mean, Spillane he tripled it. Solo, tackles for loss, doubled the sacks. He doubled the interceptions. The only thing Spillane didn't have is a forced fumble. Spillane, in those 2 years, came alive. Can Spillane keep it up with the Patriots? We're going to wait and see. Because that could just be, Spillane having the freedom in a Patrick Graham system to do his job. So, to me, it's kind of a borderline step down with, or a step over, straight across with a slight step down. That grading going downwards is there, but it's not a steep, incline.
Yeah.
He can, with like I said, being one of the top linebackers, in his position overall for the season, it's definitely, a feather in your notch. Stopping the run. Spillane was always there and going, but Spillane, I think, is going to be hard to replace, and those are some big shoes to fill. So when it comes to Spillane, I'm going to say it's a small step backwards.
Well, when Spillane came to the Raiders, he was I don't want to say he was an unknown, but he was like okay, we got a middle linebacker, I guess. Okay, and then he started developing. He always said when he first came to the Raiders, Spillane did, was that I'm not a good I'm not good in the pass defender and whatever. And then he ended up getting
3 interceptions.
a couple interceptions. And then especially with that one hand that was broken. So I'm looking at the numbers of just last year alone. Spillane played 98.2% of the defensive snaps compared to Roberts' 43.8. But Roberts played a lot of special teams. And then also Spillane's 1,095 snaps compared to overall snaps defensive snaps compared to Roberts' 478. So Spillane was on the field more than Roberts was, but also Spillane probably got all those tackles because who was the linebacker next to him for the majority of the season?
Shit, Bernie, Diablo,
which is one of Jeff's favorite guys. Nah, Diablo. He had his good days, and then he had his "what are you doing" days. So it's kind of like I'm just trying to build a case for a Landon Roberts. Is that Spillane? He had more opportunities on the field. He only had when he came off the field. Was that the Charger game when he came off the field with his knee, and then he came back the next series like nothing?
Yes,
he could carry it off.
Yeah, on that goal line.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, there goes our middle linebacker, and then he comes back. Okay, and he played the rest. He didn't miss any more snaps really, but Spillane had to make a lot of the tackles in the middle. Because you had basically rotating, with Diablo, and it's kind of like the DBs. We had a lot of tackles from our DBs and our cornerbacks on this, our defensive backfield, because our front line was also not that great because of the injuries and just the different lineups that came in. So I don't know. We'll see though. But yeah, I would agree that Spillane. Oops, let's go back. Spillane had a better season, of course, compared to Roberts that is coming in, and we will see what happens. Maybe, like you said, Spillane was able to have his freedom with Patrick Graham's defense. Maybe Roberts can do the same, and then maybe his career can flourish again. I don't know. So only time will tell. We will see when it comes to that. So, but yeah, we wanted
at the time, Spillane was, everyone who's Spillane. He didn't even come in with the pedigree of that 3-2 that Roberts is coming in with right now. So there's that chance. You got to give it a chance, in this.
Yeah, so we'll see.
In my opinion, you have to give it a chance.
Yeah. We will see what happens when it comes to that, but a veteran linebacker, so we'll see him, and then we got Eichenberg, so maybe Eichenberg will learn under him and go from there, because that was a name. He was coming out of the draft. Eichenberg, he turned a lot of heads, but he didn't get a lot of opportunity out there. So we'll see what happens when it comes to this upcoming season. Another guy that we picked up on the defensive side, safety Jeremy Chin. 71 games played, 441 total tackles, 285 of those solo, 19 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 4 forced fumbles. 27-year-old, played 5 seasons with Carolina and Washington. Was on the NFL All-Rookie team in 2020. His stats last year, he played all 17 games, 117 tackles, 73 of them solo, 7 for loss, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. We lost Morig, but we got Jeremy Chin. Now, Asylum, same question when it comes to him, and him and Morig. Would you say upgrade, downgrade, lateral move? Here's the stats compared. Their stats together of last year, the 2024 season. Now with Trayvon Morig, he started really, I guess you can say, getting better, or how would you say it? I don't want to say showing up, but his play started showing more after the injury to Epps, to Marcus Epps. So looking at these numbers, both of them played 17 games. Morg had two interceptions to Jeremy Chin's 1, 28 yards, returning that one. He had 1 sack. Jeremy Chin had 2 sacks. Solo tackles, Morg 64 to Chin 73, about 9 off. Jeremy Chin has a forced fumble and 2 fumble recoveries compared to Morg's 2 fumble recoveries. So looking at these numbers, Asylum, how do you think were we able to replace Morig this offseason with Jeremy Chin, who is coming off of a NFC Championship loss? Yes, that is true. Yes.
Well, I don't know much about Chin. So, this one, well, we didn't know much about Roberts either. This one, I mean, I want a similar answer to the whole Spillane answer, except going the other direction, maybe on that upward kick. Because Maury, he started coming around for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Right? And Chin seems to have been, from things you see, what you've been hearing, doing it a little bit longer, as far as being productive, we'll say a little bit longer. And, with those stats, other than Maury had, not the interceptions, what the hell was it? Maury had 2 of them. There was one number, fumbles, there you go. No. They both had 2 fumble recoveries. Maury had 2 interceptions. Chin's 1 to 1.
Yeah.
So, other than that number being higher, there, maybe they're throwing to Chin more. Chin, more solo tackles, more, had the forced fumble instead of the interception. So, those kind of equal each other out. So, I'm going to say, a little bit more even move, sideways with that incline going towards the up. Again, was that because he was playing on the Commanders? Was that the Redskins? Damn it. What a damn name. Was it because who he was playing for? Was it because who he was playing around? Because the Redskins had a decent secondary.
Yeah.
So we'll see, with depending on what players he has around him here with the Raiders. But they're very in the plays. I just think Chin might have, he has 1 more season on Morig. Morig only has the 4 years, if I remember correctly, in playing versus Chin's 5 years. So he has that extra season to on there to have get his feet under him, I guess is the way to say it and everything. But everything I've read and been able to see on Chin, he's been playing at a, lack of a better word, higher level than Morig for a little bit longer. So, it's one of those, he should be able to step in and we should be able to see positive plays, positive, what's the word I'm fucking looking for? Positivity, expectations could be there and not be disappointed, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. I mean, well, been building another case for our new guy, Jeremy Chin. I know one of the interceptions that I could remember that Maury got was one that was caused by, I don't know if
Explain.
it was, no, it wasn't Spillane. Well, I'm thinking of the one against the Browns. It was against Cooper. I don't know if it was Nate Hobbs that hit him or if it was Palomar that hit him at the point of when the ball got to him and then the ball bounced up and he just happened
Oh
to be
no,
right there.
that was Palomar.
Palomar, yeah. So half of his interceptions, the two, was he was just right there to basically pluck it off from the air. He
Right
didn't
place
cause
at
the
right time.
interception, but he was able to cradle it in and then get some yardage off of that. So, um, I would say it's a lateral. I mean, Morg was somebody that okay, if we can get him, if we can keep him and Palomar seemed like they had a good, uh, I would say like they worked well together. They worked well together.
Yes.
And because for being safeties, you want to have two guys that know each other well, that communication, so they know like who am I covering, this and that, whatever. They know how to talk to each other to keep that back end covered. So with Jeremy Chin coming in, he would just have to learn the Patrick Graham system, but from there, hopefully, with Palomar being the veteran now with the Raiders now, under Patrick Graham, Chin can, if he is the starter, which he should be, Chin can pick that up real quick, and then him and Palomar can work together, and hopefully it'll be a seamless transition from Morig to Chin, and it'll work out from there. Now we do need to address our cornerbacks, and we did get some guys, other guys also from free agency. One of them also is Eric Stokes, which I do not have highlights of him, but Eric Stokes comes from the Green Bay Packers. 4 years, four seasons, 45 games played, 128 total tackles, 98 of those solo, 1 for a loss, interception, no sacks, no forced fumbles, 26 years old. His whole career with Green Bay. Last year, he only played 7 games, 41 total tackles, 29 solo, and that is all right there. Now, I know we also lost Nate Hobbs to Green Bay. Nate Hobbs was a good player. He was a good slot corner. They try to make him a edge guy, a cornerback on the edge a couple years ago, but it didn't quite work out. So they put him back in the middle where he's used to. But Stokes coming in. That was McDaniels, yeah, his first year as head coach over here, whatever. But Stokes, now I'm not saying Stokes is the answer. We do have Jacorian Bennett that was injured last year. He should be coming back strong this year after his a tough rookie year. He bounced back. Yeah, knock on wood. He bounced back quickly and started showing flashes of what he can become before he got injured. And then, of course, Jack Jones on the other side. That a lot of folks have lost confidence in him after last season. We'll see what happens.
Thing, though.
Huh?
I said when it comes to Hobbs, it comes down to your favorite saying.
Yeah,
the best ability is availability. And he spent a lot of time not being available.
Yeah. And that was the one knock on him, that he's a great player when he's on the field. But, and then that's probably why they brought back Holmes, because he had to cover for him. When he was activated, he had to cover for him a lot when Nate Hobbs was out with injury. But bring a Stokes, he could be a good guy to go in there, special teams guy. I believe he was the one that was injured a lot. But so he has something to prove, that he could be healthy and make a difference on this Raiders special teams and also Raiders defense. So he'll be a guy to look out for in the upcoming season. In this off season and everything. So that's another guy that we got. Another DB that we also picked up off the free agent market was Lonnie Johnson, safety. Do I have highlights of him? I thought I did. I guess I didn't. Lonnie Johnson, 80. Huh?
Or I said, or did you forget to upload him?
No, I don't think I had him. I don't think I could find any. 83 games, played 199 total tackles, 150 solo, tackle for loss, 4 interceptions. 29 years old, 6 seasons with Houston, Tennessee, the New Orleans, and then Carolina before he came over to the Raiders. His last year's stats with Carolina: 15 games played, 7 tackles, 6 solo, and that's all he got recorded stat wise. Lonnie Johnson is another guy, depth piece. What do you think of Lonnie Johnson? Probably what he is, just a depth guy.
I think he's just a depth piece. A lot of these signings that coming up are people who are probably just fighting for roster spots.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with bringing in people now on these, smaller contracts, shit like this to, knowing full well they're probably fighting for a roster spot.
Yeah. But it is, crazy with Pete Carroll. A lot of the signings that we have, on just the last week alone was for the defensive backfield. 2 safeties, a cornerback, and I believe I do have another cornerback that it was just 2 safeties. 2 safeties, yeah. So Pete Carroll, and I wish I would have came up with this, but I didn't. I don't know who did, but it's been going around the Allegiant of Boom.
That was me. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't take credit for that, nor could I give it because I don't know who said it.
Yeah,
it's been going around. So, Pete Carroll being the defensive back.
I like it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was an easy one too. Ah,
that was low hanging fruit.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Allegiant. Oh, LOB, AOB, AOC 12. Hey. Team Radmar? I'm Radmar. Ramrod. Oh, you're saying my Instagram handle. Okay. And so I think that's it. That's all right. We got Roberts, Eric Stokes, Jeremy Chin, Alex Kappa. Oh, yeah. And of course, the one that we got here. Raheem Mostert, who everybody had on their fantasy football team 2 years ago and was riding high, and then he got injured when he played for the 49ers. Raheem Mostert comes over from the Miami Dolphins in his second stint. Miami. Oh, no. He's played 103 games. In those 10 seasons, 103 games, attempted 759 attempts. Yards, 3,791 yards rushing, average 5.0, that's average carry, 24 touchdowns, and a long of 80. He is 32 years old, played for Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, Chicago, the Niners, and again with Miami. Won Pro Bowl in 2023, 2 seasons ago. Last year's stats, 13 games played, 85 attempts, 278 yards rushing, 3.3 average with 2 touchdowns and a long of 21. Now, what was interesting about the Raiders signing Raheem Mostert was that our other running back that was a free agent was Alexander Madison. And he ends up going to Miami. So in a way, they just kind of switched sides, traded. Like a trade, like a street, like a, 2 guys. Okay, I'll go with you. You go, hey, my team, your team, whatever. So comparing, it carries a lot of weight on these signings. Exactly. Yes, that is true. Because, and that was another thing too. I noticed that a lot of these guys, no one is really like in a big, like our guys that we lost at free agency. 4-year contract, 3-year contract, 4-year contract. The guys that we brought in, and we're going to see how the contract works with Geno Smith and that restructuring or extension, whatever. But a lot of guys, 1 year, 2 year. I think Kappa might have got the bigger contract. And that's not someone that a lot of guys were like, oh, hey, really? That guy? Really? But, and I'll show that graphic again just to kind of show like how we got guys, but we're still like trying to save money. But in this right here, Alexander Madison versus Raheem Mostert. Now, our running game overall wasn't good at all. We had four different running backs. Whatever. Alexander Madison was supposed to be the starter going in. So he had 14 games compared to Raheem Mostert's 13 games. Alexander Madison had 132 rushing yards compared to 85.
Rushing attempts.
I'm sorry, rushing attempts, rushing yards, 420 compared to Mostert's 278.
Ricky Waters.
Average, huh?
Ricky Waters, 420.
Hey, from Miami. Or finished with Miami. Oh, yeah. Hey. Yes. Whoever. No, not Ricky Waters. Okay.
No,
Ricky Williams.
Williams. Sorry.
We're getting our Seattles and our Miamis mixed up. Okay. Our Seattles and our Miamis, because that's where Ricky Waters finished his career with Seattle. 3.2 rushing yards, rushing attempts. I'm sorry, rushing yards per average attempt to Mostert's 3.3. Madison has 4 touchdowns to Mostert's 2. Receiving game, in the passing game, 36 receptions to Mostert's 19. 294 yards Madison, 261 receiving yards Mostert. 8.2 average Madison to Mostert 8.5. Madison does have 1 touchdown. Mostert does not. Now, Asylum. What do you think of these numbers right here? Upgrade, downgrade, lateral move. Not that Alexander Madison really made an impact because of the whole offense.
Really didn't make an impact. We know that. But if that's the case, looking at these numbers, I know Mostert got hurt and didn't play those 4 games because of injury. I believe that was around the time that Tua was hurt as well. But if you go off just clearly the numbers, Madison was the better back and played on behind a worse line than Mostert did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that one has to be a downgrade off of just clearly the numbers. We can't go off of 2 years ago with the 49ers where everybody had him on his, their fantasy and everything. Because, Madison ran better when he was with the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
And when we saw that, when we saw that signing, it was kind of like, okay, it's a great second back, everything going, and couldn't do anything behind that offensive line. So again, and now I'm more worried knowing what we have so far with no new additions other than Kappa on the offensive line and a running back who did less, with a better offensive line.
Yeah, and here's his highlights right here. That's a big factor too, because Miami had a better offense. They had a more stable quarterback when he was not injured and not concussion protocol. And they had a more competent offensive coordinator, their head coach, McDaniel, not McDaniels, who we had. So in that situation, not having a better season for himself, but we'll see what happens. Do you think he's the type of back that can fit into a Chip Kelly type of offense, whichever way Chip Kelly draws it to the abilities of his players that he's acquiring?
Possibly he's a smaller back, quicker back than what Madison's supposed to be. He's more, as you saw right there, looking for the holes. He's not going to, pound it like you want a bigger back to be able to do, get the hard yards. So if Chip Kelly could get that, create creases and holes, he might be a back that could flourish in a Chip Kelly offense, assuming he still has it. I mean, there was 700 and something attempts. That's a lot of, miles on those legs.
Yeah. And then with the injury history too.
and going. But I mean, it's there. I mean, there you see him getting to the outside, which we didn't have any running back who could do that.
McCormick until he got hurt.
Well, okay, well, see, he got hurt, probably going to the outside. But
he got his ankle smashed in the middle, and then
I mean, a Chip Kelly offense is that those offensive linemen moving around, with all these everything going and creating those holes. A running back don't need a big hole; they just need a hole. And so it's one of those. Can he be successful? Yes. Does he have any life in them older legs? Because the lifespan of a running back is very, very short, and he is definitely on the tail end, if not already on the end of his career as a running back.
I mean, this could be, his prove-it year. Just to at least show that he could be a piece. And I'm not saying he's going to be the starter. Raiders might draft a running back in 6. You don't know. That's what everyone's pointing to, depending on what happens. I don't know.
I know you keep hearing that too, but you hear a lot of people say, "Don't do it, don't do it."
Yeah. But 32 years old, and has had some injury history as of late. He is someone that we'll see maybe not being the main guy, the bell cow. He'd be able to sustain his health throughout the season, not being that main guy. But Mostert has something to prove going into his 5th team. 5th team. Pigs says Mostert said he was, and I saw the press conference, but I didn't get to really cut it up to show. But Mostert said he was a do everything back. I assume he's there to set a great example for the rookie backs in his class. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's pointing. Everyone believes in their mock drafts that you might get a running back. Top running back. I'm not going to say no names because I don't want to be that guy that says, "Oh yeah, we're going to get this guy," and then it gets. It's been bad luck, like you said, Asylum, for a lot of reporters and a lot of people trying to report the news and trying to be the one that breaks the story. I know we're not going to know until the end of April, and we will have that coverage live on April 27th. The draft, that Thursday, first round. See how we did that plug right there. So make sure you watch our show. We were going to try to put together, maybe guys, I don't know if Jeff is still in the comments. We might.
He's got to start his show. I don't think he's going to be there.
No, Jeff likes our show. He'll probably leave in 10 minutes. So Jeff, if you're watching, we want to draft you for the draft show. Right here, camera here. Yeah, we want to draft you for the draft show. We have one guy that hopefully he is a draft expert. I don't want to say no names, okay? I don't want to jinx it, but I already put my bid in for him, and he said if he can do it, if he's not going to be in Green Bay for the draft, he will be on our show. So we're trying to put together some guys who has knowledge, because the draft college game is a whole nother beast that I'm not ashamed to say that that's another beast that I got to learn how to conquer, because there's so many games and so many players and so many colleges and so many programs. It's a lot. But these next couple of weeks, we will be going into draft mode and figuring out all the guys that are going to be available for that first round, and then so on and so forth. And speaking of the draft, looking at our numbers, we are number 6. As you see here, Titans number 1. Quarterback is one of their needs. Cam Ward might be there for them. Number 2, the Browns. Quarterback is one of their needs.
I don't know. That they keep saying it, but they keep stockpiling quarterbacks.
Hey, I got nothing because they haven't done anything since. So they've been.
Hey, Right now, even Aaron Rodgers is rumored for going there.
Aaron Rodgers needs to figure out if he wants to play or not. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is like Groundhog. When he comes out of his cage, if he sees his shadow, he has 6 more seasons he's gonna play. If he doesn't, he'll be retired. So let's see what happens. Because you know what's funny? Now I know the Vikings said, never mind, we're not gonna go and sign Rodgers. But let's just say he does. That they do sign Rodgers. It'll be funny because he'll be following the steps of the guy that he replaced in Green Bay in Brett Favre, who there was a Favre watch at one point. Is he going to retire? Is he going to play? What's he going to do? Goes to the Jets. Then after the Jets, goes to the Vikings. So if Rodgers ends up finding his way to the Vikings, even though they said, no, we're not, you're following the prophecy. So
well, then we know what Jordan Love's going to do, right?
Your future Viking quarterback, Jordan Love.
If you're a quarterback, your next stop is the Jets, and then you're going to end your career with the Vikings.
Yeah, follow the prophecy. Follow the prophecy. Now, the Raiders draft picks coming up. This NFL draft, they got number 6, 37, 68, 108, 143, 180, 213 compensatory, 215 compensatory, and then the 222. So Raiders have 9 picks going into this draft. They had 10. They gave one to the Seahawks for Geno Smith. That was the one that they got for. It's funny, that pick has been bounced around from, I think, Chicago to the Jets to the Raiders, now to Seattle. So that's a whore pick right there. Okay, whoever gets that pick, pick number 91 in the 3rd round, your pick was used by 4 organizations. You got the whore pick. You got Mr. Irrelevant, and 91 would be your whore pick. Okay, so there you go, right there. And of course, at the Raiders, the 1st round draft right here, as you see, that's the whole list right there. Raiders are number 6, Browns, Titans 1st, Browns 2nd, and Giants. They all need quarterbacks. Patriots, they have 2 quarterbacks they drafted last year, trying to shop one around. Jaguars have their own quarterback in Sunshine from, remember, the Titans. So he's still there, Lawrence. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and we will have that live. This was slightly like we're kind of a commercial for our big draft show we're going to have on that Thursday. So no pressure, because we're still putting that together, and it is out there now with Geno Smith. And I know that we had said no, we want to see O'Connell start. Everyone's against O'Connell. People are going to laugh at that. I don't care. Whatever. We're not going to. O'Connell can be a starter, okay? But let's look at the numbers, okay, of Geno Smith's last 17 games, which was last season, or starts, and Aiden O'Connell starts, because O'Connell now has 17 official NFL starts. Now, Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith. Aiden O'Connell 7-10, Geno Smith 10-7. Aiden O'Connell, 62.5 completion percentage to Geno Smith, 70.4. Passing yards, 3,579 passing yards. Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith's 4,320 last year passing yards. A 3.6 average passing yards average. Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith, 7.5. Passing yards a game, 217.5 average. Aiden O'Connell to Geno's 254.1. Aiden O'Connell had 18 touchdowns to Geno Smith's 21. 9 interceptions. Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith's 15. With the quarterback ranking, Aiden O'Connell 85.9 to Geno Smith's 93.2. Now, Asylum. Because we got Geno Smith, people believe that we won't draft the quarterback. Now, in the first round. In the first round. But I think what makes this could be good for the Raiders is you got a veteran quarterback coming in. Then you have Aiden O'Connell, who can show that, he's shown flashes that he could be the guy. Still not enough evidence to say what he is so far. He's only played 2 seasons under one, two, three, 4 offensive coordinators, or 4 offensive coordinators, and then with North Turner, so I guess 4.5 ish offensive coordinators in 2 seasons. And I mean, an offensive line that was up and down, mostly down. A running game in the second year was non-existent. And like I said, 4 offensive coordinators, don't know what the philosophy was, really. And O'Connell did what he could when he got his starts. But now you got Geno Smith. So whoever the Raiders draft, the second round, third round, fourth round, whatever, Jackson Dart, or maybe what is it? Will Howard.
Will Howard. You also got what is it? Milton, I think it is.
Yeah. Right here.
Right there. I'm sure you got
there. There you go.
Milrow has been a name. Dylan Gabriel has been a name.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers has been a name.
So you have somebody that the Raiders can develop with no pressure. Because we all remember, Asylum, I know you remember, because you always say, hey, yeah, season tickets through the Jamarcus Russell years. When Jamarcus Russell finally signed his contract, because he did hold out when he got drafted in 2007, our number 1 overall pick, who is now taking the title from Ryan Leaf as a number 1 bust in draft history, not just a quarterback, but in draft history. During that season, when he finally got signed, you had in that season, McCown, I believe, was a starting quarterback that season. Then we ended up getting Culpepper in the middle of the season. They didn't do all that well. Actually,
Culpepper, he got hurt.
Well, Culpepper was still hurt from Miami. I think he had that leg injury, right? I think it was a leg injury, or but I believe McCown was the better quarterback, but because he was McCown, he didn't really get a chance, So when Jamarcus Russell finally signed, the stadium in Oakland kept cheering for Jamarcus Russell to get out in the field. Now, with Geno Smith and Aiden O'Connell, quarterback 1, quarterback 2, whatever happens. Whoever we draft out of these guys, if it's in the later rounds or second round, whatever, I feel that if that's going to be your franchise quarterback, if that's what's going to happen, they will be able to develop on the sideline, or develop without being the pressure of going out in the field in the rookie year. Because Tom Brady has said, I don't want a rookie quarterback to be out there right there on game 1 of his rookie year. So I think it could be a good situation for the Raiders, whoever they draft second round on, to just sit back there and be able to learn the offense with Chip Kelly. Which I think, hey, Will Howard, who's playing under Chip Kelly, I don't know, Bo Nix is having he had a decent start to his career, and everyone was low on Bo Nix, even though, whatever. But what do you think?
What do I think about what?
About with Aiden O'Connell, with Geno Smith, and a possible draft.
I want you to bring that graphic back up, because I'm about to get some hate over a comment right here.
Which graphic?
The one of O'Connell and Geno Smith.
Okay. Just based off of the picture here, just pictures. Okay, Aiden O'Connell should get the start. Aiden O'Connell looks happy to be there. Geno Smith looks like he's taking a mugshot picture. Okay, so I'm probably gonna get hate over this, but I mean, O'Connell looks happy. Look at that. I mean, he's cheesing and everything. That's a starter to me. Not I'm here because I have to be fucking kind of bullshit. Now you can take it off now. Well, hey, Geno Smith was happy to be reunited with Pete Carroll because his career was vitalized when he came over to Pete Carroll, sat 2 seasons behind Russell Wilson, Then when he got his chance, there was no real. It was just a seamless transition with Pete Carroll. So him coming over, Pete Carroll knows a quarterback. Quarterback knows Pete Carroll. We'll see what happens with that. It's not a guy like a Minshew who had one good year with the Colts, and I know, as a backup, he wasn't even a starter, and he came over to us. Now, we did say that he'd be a good guy to bring in Minshew last year because to help with O'Connell and the development of O'Connell, but we all clearly saw that O'Connell outplayed him in the preseason. They went with the veteran Minshew.
With a lot less time to do it, too, by the way.
Yeah, so now that's last year, so
yeah, that's last year. That's history. Past is in the past. We're moving forward. But I mean, we feel we know the quarterback situation when it comes to O'Connell and Geno. Now O'Connell could blow everybody away and beat out Geno for that starting job. Here on the cage match, that's what we hope happens.
You heard it here first.
But, it's what we hope happens. But it is, the writing's kind of, so to say, the writing's on the wall. Especially if he's going to get that $75 million contract. It's almost, kind of that given. Fine. It is what it is. We got no say on everything. We're just going to have to live with it whether we like it or not, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. We're Raiders fans. That happens a lot.
Yeah. And also, before you go on, we're part of the only channel left that's saying start O'Connell. So we're different than everybody else. We like to give you variety. Not that we're just saying that because you've heard us from day one. Just wanted to say that right there. Sorry to interrupt what you were saying.
Okay. Now you can bring up the graphic of the college quarterbacks again.
Okay, let's go to the college quarterbacks right here, right there. There we go.
So, I mean, we could play we were starting to play that 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon earlier.
Hold on, no, that was not a shot at you, Jeff. It's not a shot at you. Because we know that you are not, but you were team Ramrod, but wasn't shot at you. It's just that everyone forgot about O'Connell all of a sudden. So,
hey, I'll just want to say,
and since you're here, Jeff, we put an invitation out there for you for the draft coming up. I don't know if because I know you are on a lot of shows, and you have a lot of people on the YouTube universe, but we would like to have you on our live draft show on Thursday, April 27th. We will have the broadcast on our screen. Okay, YouTube, shut us down. We will have it on our screen. We'll find a way where we won't get shut down because that's what I do. I try to find ways to get around the system. So, Jeff, if you want to be part of a makeshift ESPN/NFL network type of show, draft show, I even put crowd noise in the back just to kind of give that feel. Oh, yeah, whatever. That's the invitation right there. Okay, sorry. I saw them. Go ahead. Yes.
But like I said, or like I was going to say, I can't even say said. See, oops. He was planning on doing a show. But we always do one before you. So.
No, we're talking about live. The live show.
He was probably talking about doing a live show too.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll get it hashed out. Anyways, everyone has Shedeur Sanders tied to us because of Tom Brady. Yes. Right? 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, Tom Brady, Shedeur Sanders, NIL deal. See, I told you it was live. NIL deal, said and done, number 6 pick. It's happening.
Yes.
So, but as you brought up earlier, you got Will Howard, who played under Chip Kelly.
Just this past few months ago, national championship.
Which will most likely be available later on in the draft.
Yes.
So we can do our needs. But then you got Dylan Gabriel, who played behind JPJ.
Oh, yeah?
So you got familiarity there too between two important positions. So you have, just three quarterbacks on this list here who technically have ties to the Raiders, who have been big talks. Because Dylan Gabriel has been talked about more by more podcasts that I know of than Will Howard has, and more people want over a Shador Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
When Shador Sanders probably, as of now, falling into the second round, because I believe isn't it Jackson Dart who's they're talking about being taken in the lower end of the first round? So he might even be able to jump ahead of Shador Sanders unless there's a team that panics. Another, Viking situation. Not Viking, I'm sorry.
No.
Atlantic situation.
Panic for panics? Like you
Panic
called
for panics. So I mean, we got a lot of ties going in here, and we don't have to jump to this standard just because a partial owner has worked with a certain guy.
Yeah.
It's a guy we have to draft. When a lot of people are, I've seen a lot of people jump off the Sanders train who were all wanting him at first, and now all of a sudden aren't. There seems to be some character flaws coming out with Shador Sanders.
Yeah. And they're talking about how he seems too arrogant, or that he seems too arrogant, that he didn't want to the way, when they would have the interviews with him at the combine. He didn't perform at the combine, but I guess he was there, or they did have like the interviews, with the different front offices. So, but it's also said that a lot of them didn't get that attitude from him. So, who knows whatever. But he still is someone that a lot of Raider fans would like to for the Raiders to draft, and I keep saying it's going to be one of those situations where if he's there on number 6, all the Raider fans are going to be asking or pounding the table for them to draft Shador Sanders. Now, that couldn't happen last year for Penix because, like you said, the Falcons ended up taking Penix a few picks before us. Then the Broncos took Bo Nix before us. So, number 7, yes. So,
No, 8. They took him in number 8.
I don't know. I saw it. Okay. I thought you was missing the thumb. So we'll see if he's available, what the Raiders are going to do during that time when it's time for them to pick. Who would they go for? It also depends on who's left, too, out of the top guys in the draft. We will talk about that on the next upcoming episodes going on. So, right there. Now, Asylum, let's switch gears as we close the show. I have a nominee today for a Raider hater. So everyone remembers who he was, and whatever. So let's go into Raider hater, and then we will talk about who this person is. Asylum, do you have that intro ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Why you wanna play hate on me?
All right. Remember this guy right here, Jimmy G. Some folks call him Jimmy G String. Some folks say the G stands for glass because he can never stay healthy. Or Mr. Bunny Ranch himself, Jimmy G, takes shot at the Raiders. Now, this was reported last week, or towards the end of last week. Not reported, but it was all over Twitter. He was interviewed when he re-signed. Good luck, Devontae. When he re-signed with the Rams, and then on his interview, he had said, or an interview, but in his press conference, he had said, I've been in a bad organization, and I've seen how it can wear on you throughout the year. Just talking to my brothers, my family didn't want to go through that again. Now, he's referring to when he re-signed with the Rams. Now, he's only played for three other franchises outside of the one he's current with now. Drafted by the Patriots, went to the 49ers, got paid there. They did go to a Super Bowl because of the defense and the running game, not because of the quarterback. Then he came to the Raiders because McDaniels needed something to make up for him pushing out Derek Carr at the end of the 2022 season. So now he's with the Rams. Now people are saying, well, maybe it wasn't the Raiders, but there's only one bad team that he's played for, and that was the McDaniels Raiders 2 years ago. Now, Asylum, this guy right here, and I don't have the highlight, but his only highlight, thank you, Enoch. His only highlight is really.
I was about the Jimmy G string.
The only highlight that he has as a Raider really was when, all right, Jeff, make sure after the show you go to Jeff's page. He'll have his show. Right after ours. Well, he'll start right after ours. So there's his handle right there. So right there, his only highlight was really after the Raiders beat the Broncos in Arrowhead. That his first year was his slide. In Mile High, was his slide to end the game for a first down, so they can kneel the ball. Asylum. This guy right here really has a nerve to try to take shots as a backup quarterback.
He's talking about, bad organizations and shit, but he came in lying, trying to get a big contract with a foot injury.
Yeah.
Didn't even disclose that he was hurt.
Yeah.
Had to back out of a press conference.
I was going to say, he was so injured, he couldn't even start his first press conference. They had to
but yeah, he wants to try to throw shade and talk about bad organizations. How about just bad players? I mean, sometimes a bad organization is because they got bad players, they got bad leadership, and the quarterback is supposed to be the number one leader, especially with the offense. And you come in, start your career with that team as a liar, as a fraud.
Well,
somebody who could play well with the defense. I know another guy who won the Super Bowl with the defense.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer. And you don't see him throwing shade on anybody.
Well, Jimmy G, he had an interception and he had a turnover in almost every game he played as a Raider. He was out for like 3 weeks, and he still led the lead in interceptions at one point in the season. So it's like, yeah, of course you can say whatever you want when you're a backup quarterback. Probably the only thing you're going to do is hold the ball for a kickoff. For a PAT or a field goal. Maybe that's the only thing you're going to do on the field. But come on, Jimmy G.
You ever watch that TV show or TV series, whatever it was, Blue Mountain State?
I have not. I know which one it is, but I have not.
You have to watch it because he's that one guy. I wish I could remember his name now. The damn player. But the guy who only wants to be the backup quarterback. His whole life in college is just to be the backup quarterback. That's Jimmy G right there. I'm happy where I'm at. I don't have to learn shit. I don't have to do nothing. I just get to party. That's Jimmy G. He's the backup quarterback for Blue Mountain State.
No guts, but all the glory. Jimmy G. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because it's like you have these players that once they leave the Raiders, they leave on bad terms because of their own play. And then they turn around and they went, oh, yeah, the Raiders, it's bad organization. And I know we're going through our issues and we're going through our whatever, and we'll say it that we haven't been great.
Okay, I got the name. It's Alex Moran.
Alex
Okay,
Moran.
Alex Moron, Jimmy G, they fit perfect.
He will play him in the upcoming movie. But
Sorry, I had to figure that out. It was just. Go
I
ahead.
don't know.
Sorry.
Jimmy G, it's and he's protected now because it's the off season, and hey, whatever. Just wait till he has to go in a game, and then he gives a medicine ball to Devontae Adams. Then you're gonna see Devontae Adams going after him again, and then it'll just be,
All of a sudden pull a hammy if that happens.
I want to be traded again. They catch me outside. So Jimmy G, I don't know. You want to talk now? It's easy to talk now when you're the backup quarterback, who is just getting paid to sit back there and hold the clipboard and have the earpiece in your ear. I don't gotta do nothing. But I don't know. Who knows? Matthew Stafford something might happen. Then you got to be out there, and then we'll see. Is it the organization, or was it the player that was supposed to be the savior of the organization, but gotta stay in the field. Gotta stay in the field. I don't know. Asylum. I don't know. But that is your Raider Hater segment for today. Next week we should wait. Do we have? Is Miss Peggy? When is Miss Peggy's off season?
When she tells us,
Okay, so she should be coming next Wednesday.
she should be here next Wednesday. I haven't heard anything otherwise yet.
So Miss Peggy should be back next Wednesday, and we'll get her thoughts on the current state of the Raiders post free agency rush, and going into the upcoming draft as we start switching to draft coverage going into the April 27th draft night, Thursday night, as we go live and we put together our panelists, and go from there. All right, Asylum. This is the first time we're going to finish just under 2 hours. So let's end on a good note right there. Any Raider haters hunt Eric Chatterton Nation, what's the talk around Pickens? Oh,
The receiver, not Pickett, Pickens.
no, I know that. Pickett, the quarterback? No. What is this talk around? Do you know anything about Pickens and his availability?
No, I think he's available. I think he's I don't think it's trade. No, it's not free agent. I think it's trade. I think he wants out though.
Yeah. Would you say he's worth kicking the tires on?
No, I'd rather have Lockett than Pickens, just because Pickens is going to end up being a cancer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Duh. From the guy from the Steelers.
Yes.
Vincent Jimmy G was benched as a 49er and a Raider for. And look, that's what we were saying when he became a Raider. Like, you weren't the guy. You weren't the guy with the Niners. You were there when they had the great running game. So yeah, you was able to get the pressure off of playing quarterback because you had the running game, and then you had the defense that took him to the Super Bowl that year, or the year he went with the Niners. But he was never really a starting quarterback. He did get paid. He did get paid by the Niners, and then they were all like, "Why did we do that for?" Like 2 years in. So Jimmy G, talk all that. You're the backup quarterback. Now we don't play the Rams until I think the year after. So not this season, but next season, I believe, in a regular season game. So if Jimmy G is still there, and he's standing on the bench, or he's standing on the sideline with his clipboard, just wait till somebody accidentally rolls over there, or when the play ends up going that way, we'll see if Jimmy G keeps talking. Or if he's still talking, will he be able to still be walking? Oh, okay, anyways. All right, Asylum, any last words on anything, I guess?
Just fuck the Raider haters and fuck Jimmy G.
All right. With that said, We want to say thank you for everyone who's watching. If you're going on a cruise, hope to see you there. Anna will be out there in the cruise, the Raider cruise, right?
Yes.
Yes. I wish I can go, but I don't know. I didn't. I knew about it, but I just.
Anna let everybody know early, but I just didn't have the money.
Yeah, and
Anna gets some autographs from me.
yes, Anna, get us some subscriptions for us on the cruise. Use your koozie that we sent you. We go, hey, scan.
Yeah, there you go.
One of them stickers. Help us out. Now, Anna's always been the one. Watch our show. She has been. Yes, she's been consistent in the comments, and we always appreciate Anna. And she showed up on one of our episodes a while back, going into last year. Last season. You bet I'm taking my koozie. Hey! If you guys want a koozie, what do I do with it? If you guys want a koozie, email us, and we will send them out. Have people scan the back. Whatever, and we'll send them out for free. Okay, so email us at thecagematchshow@gmail.com and help us out. Get some subscribers. Let me show you how it works. Not like you guys need. Everyone knows. Everyone drinks beer. This is not a beer. This is a diet Dr. Pepper. Right there, see that koozie can, and my sister didn't forget. She still owes can in koozie and can. My sister will be is still working on Anna's cage match lifetime achievement award for the 2 years we've been on. So if you want a koozie, email us your information and we'll send you a koozie. We'll send you a lanyard. Where's my lanyard? I have a lanyard somewhere. It's around here somewhere.
Mine are in my car.
We'll send you a lanyard and a sticker just for watching our show, because we know that you watched our show to get that information all the way to the end. All right. With that said,
gotta watch the whole show.
Gotta watch the whole show. Go there, email us if you want a free koozie and a free lanyard with the Cage Match on there. And then when you get the koozie, tell your friends, hey man, check out the show. Scan here, subscribe. Boom, 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 boom. That is called networking. We appreciate all those who help network for us. All right. Let's end the show. 2:02. We hit our mark. Thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you. Everyone in the comments, we appreciate you. And next week should be Miss Peggy Wednesday, because they know she goes into her off season because she is a busy woman herself. But we do know that you love Miss Peggy, and we always beg her to come on the show. Not we don't always beg her. She loves to come on the show. But when it's time, when it's the off season, we're like, hey, come on. One more week. Let's go. One more week. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care and have a good evening. All righty. Peace out.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight again. I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.